foodie haven, really good. I think, can we compete with New York, for example? Let me start a war in the comment section. I think Berlin food scene can compete with New York. Let the argument begin. Put it in the comments. We're here for the arguments. Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Wale O. I'm a content creator based in Berlin and I make videos about life abroad, living abroad, working abroad and travel in general. If that's your jam, make sure you click the subscribe button and make sure you're subscribed to this channel. And if you would like to follow me on Instagram, where I share more tips and tricks about moving abroad, living abroad, working in Germany and so on, you can follow me on Instagram. It's at Wale O Chronicles, and I'm on TikTok as well, but I don't know what I'm doing on TikTok. But you can follow me there as well, and let's just get friendly. And with all that being said, have I told you to subscribe already? Because it's free and it's 2022 and we're supporting content creators in 2022. Anyway, in today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys 10 reasons why I love living in Berlin. So let's get into it. The first reason I will talk about that I love living in Berlin so much is the affordability. I know some people might argue about this, that Berlin is no longer as affordable as it used to be before, which is quite true, but I'm talking in terms of relativity now. First of all, in Berlin, there is something for every budget category. So if you're on a high budget, there is fancy living for you, and if you're on a low budget or medium budget, there is something for you as well. So everybody, irrespective of your budget, can find a place for themselves in Berlin. When I was a student, my lifestyle was different and I was able to afford living in Berlin, and now that I'm working full-time, I'm also like lifestyle creep. I know I shouldn't let that happen, but honestly, lifestyle creep has creeped upon me, and my cost of living has increased, of course, but I'm just saying that at the different stages of my life in Berlin, I was able to afford the lifestyle that I wanted for myself as a student and now as a full-time employee. And also another point about affordability is that compared to other European capitals in Western Europe, for example, Berlin is relatively cheap. So if you compare it to London or to Paris, for example, it is actually cheap considering that it's the capital city of Germany. Like, the budget you would need to survive in London is or Paris is way higher than what you would need to survive here in Berlin. Again, taking into consideration that you can find on the spectrum of the budget, you can always find your own level of availability. Granted, maybe you might not be able to live right in the city center in a massive apartment that you want to live in, but you can always find something for yourself. When I was a student, I was able to find a room for 300 euros, which was quite a bargain in Berlin. Some people pay 700 euros for rent for a room in a shared apartment. I was lucky I got something for 300 euros. So at every spectrum, you can always find your budget. You can always find something for your budget. That's one of the reasons why I love living in Berlin. So the second reason why I really love living in Berlin is the fact that if you are someone who has zero to very basic German speaking skills, Berlin is a good starting point or a good entrance point into the German society, so that you're not feeling like you're lost 100% of the time, because it's so multinational, so multicultural and so diverse. You would find many English-speaking shops, or you'll find many people speaking English. You'll just generally find more people that can speak English than if you would go to a middle of nowhere town in Germany, for example. I don't know why I had to use that extreme example, but I personally, in my opinion, I feel like Berlin is a good entry for people who are not familiar with the German language, they cannot speak German at all, or have very basic German skills, so that you do not feel, like I said before, you don't feel 1000% lost and you can still live your daily life. That's one of the reasons I like living in Berlin. Another reason related to the previous reason I just mentioned is that in Berlin there are many more English-speaking job opportunities for those who do not have very good German skills. As I always say in all my videos and all the content I create on Instagram, you have to learn German at some point. There is no way you will 1000% thrive without at some point just learning the language. It makes your life easier. I keep saying this. I know I sound like a broken record now, but it's absolutely true. But if you are still on your journey to learning, because we all know that German is not the most easiest language in the world, if you're still on your journey to learning and of course you need a job to survive, then Berlin is a good place to live in, because there are so many English speaking job opportunities. Maybe they might not be the best or highest paid situation, because the competition for English speaking jobs in Berlin is like cutthroat. Like the competition is stiff, and then the very highly paid ones, you better believe that they are you have to be super I hate it when people roll their R's like that, but I'm doing it anyway. You have to be really good to get those high paid ones. And if you are not that competitive, maybe you don't have that competitive skill and everything, you can still get English speaking jobs. It might just not be your dream job, but at least you're making money, so that's okay. I know some people will say in other cities in Germany, like Munich as well and Hamburg, you will also get English speaking job opportunities, which is quite true, and Frankfurt as well, which is quite true. But I feel like, this is my personal opinion, and that's why it's my video. If you have contrary opinion, make your own video, okay? Anyway, I feel like personally the English speaking job opportunities in Berlin are way more than in other cities in Germany, period. Another reason why I really love living in Berlin is that Berlin is one of the most, if not the most liberal city in Germany. Let me tell you, like, anything goes in Berlin. Like, I don't know if there's something I've not seen in Berlin. Like, the range of cray is, the spectrum is very broad. Like, you can be anything you want to be, you can dress how you want to dress, you can look how you want to look. If you want to be fancy like me, because I like being fancy, you know what I mean? Well, actually, I'm the anomaly in Berlin. The normal look is alternative. That's the normal look. So, but the thing is, even if you want to look abnormal, normal is relative, I don't want to use the word normal, but even if you want to look like what conservative people will call abnormal, or you want to look fancy, or you want to look like you just woke up from bed and you did not comb your hair and whatever, nobody cares. Just be the way you are. You can be an anomaly. I think I've used this word before, but what I'm trying to say is that other cities in Germany, for example, if you do not look like what people consider as normal, you will get stared at, you will get the disapproving look. People are not just as open-minded as here in Berlin. But in Berlin, everything goes. Like, if you want to wear your underwear and walk around in the cold or whatever, nobody cares. So I really like that about Berlin, that it's so liberal and welcoming to all mindsets, all looks, all opinions, all truths. I just say truths. It's open to all types of truth. So just you can live your own truth in Berlin. You can be whoever you want to be. You can express yourself however way you want to express yourself, within reason, of course. You cannot be like anyway, let's not talk about politics here, but anyway, you can be whoever you want to be in Berlin. It's really liberal and welcoming, and that's one of the reasons why I love living in Berlin. And another reason why I love living in Berlin, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this in many of my videos, but Berlin is so diverse and international and multicultural. I think it is the most diverse, multicultural, international city in Germany. As a matter of fact, people in Germany say that Berlin is not Germany. That's how diverse it is. Like, you can walk 10 minutes down the street and you probably hear like 10 different languages. I mean, Berlin is not like a melting pot like London. It's not on that level yet, but for German standards, it's really multicultural, because there are so many different people from different parts of the world here. Like, I think, did I meet someone from, what's the name of this very far away island that I never met someone from? I don't remember. But you can meet different people from different parts of the world. I know I've met Mongolians here. I never met a Mongolian in my whole life. I met a Mongolian here in Berlin. And I've met people from like as far away as New Zealand here. I've met people from Malaysia. Hi. I met people from different parts of the world. So it's really multicultural and diverse, and wherever you come from in the world, you can be comfortable that you will find you can be sure that you will find your own community. If you are really into meeting up with people from your country just to have that home feeling, you will definitely find your community here in Berlin. I mean, there are many Facebook groups you can join for that, and that's one of the reasons why I love living in Berlin. Another reason why I love living in Berlin, and I think this is one of my favorites, is that Berlin has so much to offer. Like, there is something always happening. Well, pre-Roro, before this Roro came and destroyed our lives and took our lives away. But there is always something happening. There is always whatever you're interested in, no matter how obscure your hobby or your interest is, you will find an activity around that interest here in Berlin. I can promise you that. Actually, somebody leave the most obscure hobby in the comment section. Let's see if we'll find people in Berlin that are actually into it. Like, it'll be so funny. There's activities, parties, festivals, art and culture. If you're into like different type of things, the spectrum is just massive, and I really like that. I like to be in a city where things are happening. I don't want to be bored. I have options. That's very important. You have options in Berlin. Like, if you're into techno, or you're into hip-hop, or you're into rock, or you're into, what's the other one, hard rock, or what's the other one called? I don't remember, hard rock or something, the one that sounds very violent. I don't know what that genre is called. But if that's what you're into, you will find your group of people. If you're into jazz music like me, there are always very nice jazz clubs you can go to, or events around jazz you can go to. And also, because Berlin is the startup capital of Germany, there are always events around startups. If you're interested in all that kind of stuff, there are always events where you can go to network, learn, meet people, and all that kind of stuff. So I really like that about Berlin so much. I think that's my favorite. Another reason why I love living in Berlin is the very, very good public transportation system in Berlin, because I be lazy. I don't know how to drive, so I need the public transportation. But no, I really like that. The public transportation in Berlin is really good, very, very well connected. You have the underground, you have the tram, you have the S-Bahn, which is the train, and you have the bus. Every region, every corner of Berlin is covered, and I really like that. And the monthly public transportation ticket is quite affordable. So if you want to cover all the public transportation within the A and B region, which is pretty much the whole of Berlin, then it's like 86 euros per month or so. And they have different combinations of tickets and so on. And even when I was a student, I paid way less than 86 euros. So per month, I think we paid for a semester, and it was 900. 900? What? No, 196. I don't remember exactly. Almost 200 euros for 6 months. That's how much we paid as if that's how much you would pay as a student. But if you're not a student and you're employed and you want to get the monthly ticket, it's 6 euros per month. And I like that the public transportation covers everywhere. So for people like me who are lazy and don't know how to drive, like, you're covered. You are not restricted to where you can go just because the public transportation doesn't get there. And it's reliable, depending on what definition of reliability is. If you're talking on the Swiss standard of reliable, then it's not reliable. But if you're talking on like the German standard of reliable, yes, it is reliable. So I really like the very good public transportation connection. And you can also take taxis. Of course, there are taxis, there are Ubers, and you also have for people who can drive, not for people like me, for people who can drive, you have this car sharing thing. Another thing I love living about Berlin, I think this is my favorite, not the one I mentioned before. This is my favorite. Berlin is a foodie haven. Oh my god, you guys. I think Berlin has spoiled me so much that I'm now a food snob, like legit. Like, my standard for when I go to a restaurant, the quality I'm expecting is very high now, because the food in Berlin is good. And remember that point I mentioned about affordability? You better believe you can get every good quality food for whatever budget. So if you want something for like a 10 euro meal, you can get good 10 euro meal. If you want like 20 euro meal, you can get. If you want 50, anything you want, you can get. And the quality is good, because there are tons of restaurants in Berlin, and the competition is stiff. Like, you have to come with your A game. If not, people will go to the other restaurant. Like, the food is good, and you can find food from different parts of the world. I kid you not. Foodie Haven, really good. I think, can we compete with New York, for example? No. Let me start a war in the comment section. I think Berlin food scene can compete with New York. Let the argument begin. Put it in the comments. We're here for the arguments. Another reason why I love living in Berlin, and I've been here since 3 years. I just spoke English like a German person. Wow. I've been here for 3 years now. I don't want German to ruin my English. Yeah, I've been here for 3 years now, and I love Berlin because it's a good city to study in. It's a good city to be a student in. When I was a student in Berlin, I had the best time of my life. Well, actually not the best time of my life, one of. I had one of the best times of my life. There's always things to do. You never get bored. There is a good international community that you can plug into, and there are many student jobs, like unbelievably many student jobs, and many English speaking jobs, whether you want to work as a student or full-time. It's just a very great city to be a student in. I enjoyed my time in Berlin while I was a student, and although it was difficult for me to get my first job, I talked about that whole journey in this video here. If you've not seen that video, check it out. It was difficult for me to get my first job, but once I got my first job, after that, like, everything just kind of like, it was how do they say, the snowball effect. Yes, it just like a snowball effect, and it just kept getting better and better after that. So it's a wonderful city to be a student in. My parting words will be that I would advise that if you are not so great yet with your German, and your German is basic, or you do not know any German at all, then Berlin is a good place to start or to enter into the German culture. It will not help you really get better, except you're very disciplined, because English is so widely available that you're not forced to speak German. But actually, in the long run, it would really help you to speak German and makes you more flexible. So if you get another opportunity in another part of Germany, then you can move. But as a starting point, Berlin is really a good place to start if you want to start, if you want to choose somewhere to start in Germany. Anyway, with that, I've come to the end of this video. If you watch this video up till this point, what shall we say in this video? Say, if you watch this video up till this point, say, I love red pots. Like, talking about the pots in the background, the flower pots in the background. So say, I love red pots if you watch this video up till this point. And thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.